Chapter 8. April. "What made you change your mind?" Megan asked as they signed the paperwork for the office space. April smiled, remembering the previous night with Carter. "Oh, just a friend. He agreed that this place was amazing and I'd be silly to let it go." Okay, he hadn't exactly said that, but close enough. He'd told her he thought she could make it work, and then he'd kissed her, right on the sidewalk by the front door. Her heart fluttered as she pictured the kiss again. Now she would have a daily reminder of the amazing encounter. "Well, your friend was right. I'm glad he talked some sense into you, because I had more clients lined up to look at it this week, and I have no doubt that one of them would have snatched it up. Last one," April said, putting her signature on the last piece of paper and handing it over to Megan. "I can't wait to get moved over here. Don't forget you'll need to get the electricity and water transferred to your name and get insurance," Megan said as she fished in her briefcase for the keys. "I'll handle the title change." Right. April had forgotten about electricity and water and insurance, but surely it couldn't be that expensive. She bid Megan goodbye and then began walking around the office space, envisioning where everything would go. She could picture the waiting room, paintings in a soft beige or pink color to accent the walls. The front desk was already in the perfect place, so the receptionist could see out the front windows, and the chairs would be perfect over there. She wandered into the 3 different office rooms, deciding which would be hers. All of them appeared to be the same size, but the one farthest from the reception area would probably be the quietest. That one would be hers. With that decision made, she decided to put out feelers for either other massage therapists or facial technicians as well as a receptionist. It would take her a few weeks to get everything up and running, but she wanted to have the people in place when she did. When she finished that task, she dialed Carter. They hadn't made another date, but she wanted to tell him that she'd sign the papers and see if perhaps he wanted to meet up for coffee. Unfortunately, he didn't pick up, and the sound of his voicemail filled her ear. Disappointment flooded her, but she tried to keep her voice chipper as she left him a message. "Hey, Carter, it's April. I just signed the papers on my new space and thought you might like to help me celebrate. Call me." She ended the call and bit her lip. The rest of her afternoon was free, but she didn't feel like going home. Not yet, at least. Lucia would be at work, though, and she decided to swing by her job to share her good news. Plus, if she was lucky, she might see Carter if training camps had already started. The lunch rush was just ending when April stepped into the cafeteria. She kept her eyes peeled, but she did not see Carter as she made her way back to the kitchen. Lucia, however, was there and up to her arms in dirty dishes. "Hey, what are you doing here?" she asked. "I wanted to come share my good news, but you look a little busy. Can I help?" April wouldn't normally have volunteered, but not only was she in a good mood, but she didn't want to leave without sharing her news, and chatting while Lucia worked would have been wrong. "Really? That would be amazing. One of our washers called in sick today, so I've been covering." "Sure," April said with a shrug. "I clean at home, so I don't mind helping out." Lucia smiled and handed her a sponge. Then she scooted over so April could share the sink. "Okay, tell me your good news." "I signed the lease on the office space today." Lucia looked over at her. "But I thought you were going to wait and make sure you had the money." "Well, I was, but I showed the place to Carter last night, and he agreed that I'd be crazy to let it go. He told me I could do anything I set my mind to, and I believe him." Lucia shook her head and chewed on her bottom lip, as if thinking of what she wanted to say. I don't doubt that you can move into your own office space and be successful. I just hope you haven't picked a place that you won't be able to pay for. April shrugged, not willing to let Lucia ruin her good mood. Well, maybe I'll just pray about it. You said God answers prayers, right? Oh, April, there's so much more to God than just praying for Him to do what you want. It's about doing His will, not ours. While He does answer prayers, He doesn't always answer them the way we want. Then I'm not sure what good believing in Him is. Lucia shook her head softly. I hope you realize someday what an amazing friend and father He can be. April chuffed as she scrubbed a plate. I've got enough friends, and my father was no saint, so I don't think I need another one of those. I'm sorry your father failed you, but he was human. God will never fail you. April wasn't so sure about that. She remembered hiding under her bed as a child to escape her father's drunk rages and praying for God to save her. Yet it was many years later when her father finally left their life. I think I'll take my chances on my own, April said, as she finished washing the last dish. I know you don't agree with my decision, but I'd still love to show you the place anyway. Lucia sighed softly and flashed a small smile. I'd like that.